Hi guys, welcome back to L.J.C Crafts. Today I'm basically going to show you how to do the triple fishtail bracelet. So let's get started. Oh, I have paint on my finger. That's great. Anyways, for this bracelet, you are going to need your loom and your hook, and then you are also going to need C-clips. So I am going to be using 3. You can use C-clips or S-clips. Finally. And you will also need elastics. So before we do get started, I do want to just point out, before this video I quickly made these 2 samples, so these are just different ways you can make the bracelet. So this is when it meets at the end, like that, and this also has white, so as you can see the background's white and the sides are white. This has like 3 C-clips at the end of it, and basically it's like in 3 different sections, and it also uses the same color for the background, and for the side it's the same color as you used for the pattern. So I'm going to be showing you how to make these 2 types of bracelets. So if you want to make this type of bracelet with like this kind of pointy end, then you would only need 1 C-clip or S-clip. For this you'd need 3 C-clips. And I'll also show you how to do the different colored backgrounds. So anyways, let's get started. So for this bracelet, I'm going to use the same colors as I did for these examples, just because I really like how it looks. So I'm going to be using the pinks and the oranges and the yellows, just like that. So basically, it doesn't matter what type of bracelet you want, if you want this or this, whatever way, you are going to start the same. So you're going to use 2 elastics this whole time. So I'm going to get 2 pink elastics, and since my pattern kind of goes like this, and it's pinks, then yellow, pinks, then yellows, and orange, then pink, then yellow, I'm going to be using the same color on this side. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So basically I'm going to start on the first peg on the left to the second peg on the left. Then I'm going to start a bit down, so on a diagonal I'm going to do the second to the third in the middle, and then the second to the third on the right. So yours should look like this. So then you're going to get your next color. So in my pattern, my next color is orange. And I'm going to get 2 orange bands. I'm just going to put it on the pink like that, on every row, just like this. And I find this way quicker and easier than other ways you can make this triple fishtail bracelet. For me, it's just easier. And then you do the same thing with the yellow, getting 2 yellows. You'd put it below the orange, so on some pegs there should be the 2 colors here. So I'll just continue that. And that is going to be my pattern. If you'd like to do the rainbow, you would do like all 6 colors of the rainbow, or 7 if you want to be picky like that. Or you could do different colors, so like this, you could do, you want one column, one color, this a different color, and this all the same color. You would just do it like that. So basically, as you can see, this is how my pattern is looking so far. And I'm just going to repeat that all the way down the loom. Getting 2 pinks now, and I'm just going to put it on the yellows. And I'm basically just going to repeat this until I get to the bottom of the loom. So basically, I'm just going to repeat this until I reach close to the end of my loom and use the last color I want in my pattern. So if you're going to follow this instruction, that means you want your bracelet to be like this one, and it has a straight edge at the bottom without a point. Basically, you're just going to add a cap band on the last 3 elastics. Now, this cap band can either be the same color as the elastic. So for example, my cap band, I could make mine yellow. Basically, I would just get 1 single elastic and twist it on that peg 3 times on each of the pegs, so on 3 pegs, or I could put a different color on that elastic, or do what I'm doing, get the second last elastic, then use the last color as a cap band. You can choose whichever one you prefer. Anyways, another choice you can do is, if you did this, that means you want it to be 3 different ways. Now, you may want yours to be like this. If you want this option, what you would do is you would get 2 yellow elastics, and I'm going to meet this. So this is my last one in the middle. This is the peg after my last. I'm going to want all these elastics to meet there. So I'm going to get this yellow one, and even though it does look odd, it will look better when you take it off. And basically I'm just going to have 2, like the last color of my pattern, they're all going to meet here. And then with this pattern, I would use the same color cap band. So I'm just going to get one yellow band and twist it around 3 times. So anyways though, because I do want mine to be more like this pattern, I am going to stick to this way. But again, if you do want it to look like this, you would follow the instructions on how to do it this way. So now we got another decision to do, so we can move these elastics out of the way. Basically now you gotta decide, do you want the white background and the white on the sides or the same color? So the white is easier, I will say. So if you want white, get a single white elastic, and you would just, not counting, you would not do it to the last or the first pegs over here before all the others. So to the second, you would just diagonally put it across, and you would just repeat that over the full thing. Just like this, and I would just do this so my full thing is covered in white elastics. But for mine, I want it to be the same color like this one. I want it to be the same color as the background. So if you want white, you would just put diagonal white elastics on every band, or sorry, on every peg, except not the last one and not the first. Now if you want colored elastics, you basically do the same thing except with colors. So I would start on my second peg, and I would use the first color of my pattern on the second peg, not doing the first, and I would just repeat my pattern. So first I did pink, where on the second peg my pattern starts. Now I'm going to do orange, and now I'm going to do yellow. And I'm just going to repeat this until I get the second last, and we are not going to be doing this. We are not going to be doing this on the first and the second. Sorry, on the first and the last peg. So just like that. We can now start looming.
Now, if you did your bracelet like this, you would do some basic looming.
So you should twist yellow or red color each elastic bar. You should twist that band that color 3 times. So I'm going with that band. Get the first 2 bands.
And get the first 2 elastics.
So the first 2 bands, basically, I'm going to do the same order as I did. But the first band, you're just going to see this. And you very quickly want to do that. So you're going to go to the right side. I'll go to the cap band again and get the next 2 on top.
Get the next 2, which for me will go in the middle. And you'll see because it'll make a teardrop shape. And then mine last 2 will go to the left side. And you'll just normally loom like that. Now, if you did it like mine or like yours, for mine, I'm just going to go into the cap bands and I'm just going to loom straight above. Even if you did it the way with the point, you would just continue looming straight above. But the only difference is when you do this, you're only going to want to loom to the second last one. So you're not going to want to loom all the way up. You're going to stop once you reach the second last peg. Make sure you do only the second last peg, but as you can see, I'm just normally looming it like so.
So now whichever way you did it, you should now have loomed to the second. Remember, the first one should not be loomed. So yours should look like this. Anyway, so the reason I don't want to loom this is because we're now going to transfer this. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to get a pencil or another cheap hook or a pencil crown. So what I have is I have these cheap hooks that I can use for this. So you can also use a pencil or pencil crown. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this, and I'm going to basically put my hook into the elastics, and I'm going to get each of them. Just like that, so into the elastics, and I can then take them off my loom. So, and it should be hooked on my elastic like that so I can let go of it. Now basically I'm going to want to also get these pink elastics. Once you have these purples on this, once you have the elastics on the hook, we are going to want to get these elastics. So basically I'm just going to reach into this and do normal looming and put them on the peg above. Make sure though that these elastics are on that hook. And I'll do this on the left side also. This part can be a bit confusing, but once you've done it, it's actually pretty easy. Now we're going to want to get these elastics that we just loomed and put them on the hook like this. And this is because we are going to be adding this to another one. You will see what I mean in a second. So I'm just going to want to put all these elastics on the hook like that. So really, these should be the same elastics, but they're just on 2 different hooks. So now, if you have your elastics properly on your hook, you should be able to take everything off. So basically I am done this section. So as you can see, this is part of my bracelet. So you are going to need to repeat these steps as many times as it will fit your wrist. So basically that's only a section of my wrist. So I am going to be repeating the same exact thing except a little differently. What I mean by this is I'm going to do the same thing. So my pattern ends with pink. So since the next pattern I would want yellow here, since this is the end of my bracelet, I'm going to end with yellow. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'll start at pink again, and I'm going to make sure I end at yellow. The only difference is for this time around, when I do it, I am not going to be needing to add cap bands, because basically I'm going to connect the original bracelet I made. So the section we just did together, I'm going to be connecting that section to my new section. I'm going to show you what I mean in a second. Basically, I'm going to quickly be doing this off screen so I can explain to you what I mean. You can see I have completed it. I did the same exact thing I did before, except at the end I did not add cap bands. And even if you do want to do this design with this, you would want to do this so you aren't, last time when we did that diagonal thing at the bottom. You aren't going to want to do this. Yours should look exactly like mine, except with different colors. So basically now I'm going to show you how we're going to connect the two. So basically you're going to get this part, which was our original thing that we did before. So I'm going to get this, and I'm going to basically connect it here. So we see on one of my hooks I have all these bands. So I'm going to want to attach the bottom bands onto the hooks in order, just like this. So I'm going to get the next two bands on my hook, which would go, and this is going to go in the middle row on the last hook, and then this is just going to go right here. Again, yours should look exactly like mine at the moment, except with different colors. So anyways, now yours should look like this. So it is connected, but we still have this top row. The reason I didn't add this right away is I'm going to want to actually add the diagonal band this time. So I'm going to get my yellow diagonal band, since that's the next in my pattern. Since this one was orange, I'm going to get my yellow. I'm going to put it diagonally like this, and just like that. And now I'm going to do these, and I'm just going to get these bands and put them on top, so on the same on the same pegs. So basically, since our loom is not big enough to loom this whole entire bracelet, we are doing this in sections and then just attaching the old sections to the new sections, just like that. So as you can see, this is now fully attached to this, and now, like I did before, I'm going to normally loom it. So you're going to want to go into all these layers of elastic bands and get the two bottom one, and basically for the rest of this you're going to loom it exactly like you did, and only looming it to the second last. So I've now loomed it the same way I have last time to the second last, and we're going to do the same thing we did last time, just putting this on our hook. Or I'm using my cheap hooks, or you can use pencils or pens, just like that. And I'll just put these over here, and getting another cheap hook, and remember going into these diagonal bands and just getting them. And like before, it is now a hook, so I'm going to take it off. Or I now have my bracelet like that, and as you can see, it is about halfway done. So you are going to keep repeating those steps until you have a big enough bracelet for you. You've loomed your last section, and this is when you want to end the bracelet. This is what you're going to do. So if you did the bracelet the way like this, what you're going to do is you're going to just loom normally to the top on every side, just like this. And basically, once you get to the top, I'm not going to show you entirely, but you're going to get a C-clip or an S-clip and just hook it to the bottom like this. And then on the other side over here, you would attach the C-clip to this side to the cap band. The reason I'm not going to show you is because I do want to show you the way if you did it with the diagonal. But basically you just loom all the way to the top and then connect this with the C-clip and put the C-clip side also on this left side of the cap band. If you are finishing your bracelet and if you want to do it this way, what you're going to do is you're going to meet all of them on the same pin. So I'm just going to bring the middle one, and basically we're just going to bring the middle one to the peg above, just like that. Bring the middle one to the peg above, like that, which should be the top peg. Can open this up. Bring the one on the right to that same peg, the middle first, and then bring this also over there. Just like that, and then you would also loom normally like you would. We're going into this, and then you would just get the band and loom it all the way to the top. Be careful though that it doesn't break, and you would just loom it like that. Basically, once all your bands are loomed to the top, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get whatever color you use for this. So mine is pink. I'm going to get a pink band and wrap it around 2 times. And I'm going to put my hook into this. Basically, I'm going to put my hook into all these bands on the outside like that. I'm going to hook it onto this double band and bring it up through here and hook it back like that onto this. And now basically what you'd want to do is you'd want to get your C-clip now and hook these 2 bands like that. Technically it's actually 1 band. Just hook the band on like that, and then you would connect this C-clip to your other side. That should look like this without the C-clip, and you just connect it to the other side with the cap band. Side though, to do the way where the square is, basically I just put a bunch of C-clips on the end, and I'm going to take it all off. And now that I took my whole elastic off, I'm just going to connect the both sides. Now I have finished my bracelet. So again, like I've mentioned, you could have done it where it points in the middle, but I just kind of like how this looks. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like it if you did, and comment down below your ideas for new videos we can do. If you'd like to see a specific tutorial, you can comment that down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see more. See you guys. Bye.